Hi guys, Exeter Rider, thanks for joining me once again. Now this week is the Moto Morini Siemmezzo 650 STR. Before we go too far, do bear in mind that I have actually made a first ride of this bike as well. So if you haven't seen that, watch that first and then come back here to watch this one. Right then guys, so let's start right here. So Moto Morini are an Italian brand. They've been around for years, making some really interesting bikes in that time. As with any company that have been trading for years and years, they've had their troubles and follies along the way. And in the end, it's boiled down to it that Moto Morini are now Chinese owned. They are still designed and partly put together in a place in Italy just outside of Milan. Well, this particular bike, the Siemmezzo 650, still has that Italian feel to it, that it's been put together and designed, you know, with a lot of passion. Every little detail on this bike has been thought about and scrutinized before it went out for sale. You can really tell that on this bike. It's a really nice looking bike, and yeah, it's overall, it just feels really well put together. It feels strong. There is a scrambler version of this as well, which I'd be interested in trying because it's got slightly higher handlebars, so possibly just a little bit more laid back than this STR version. Handling wise, it's incredibly stable. There's no flex in anything along the way as you're riding along. Everything feels in a natural place. I don't feel cramped. I can move forward or back on the seat as well, which is also very comfortable. It's quite a flat seat. There isn't a lot of padding and it is quite dense. But that being said, I've been sat on it now for a few hours and I've got no issues at all with it. I think they've set it up really nicely. And again, talking about the seat, the actual quality of it and the quality of the whole bike in general is fantastic. It really is superb. Punching way above its weight really for a bike that's under £7,000. And one thing which this bike gives me as well, which is priceless, is character. And a lot of bikes these days, they're so refined with all the electronics that they do lose that character. Where this Siemmezzo is doing really well is that it's refined to a level, but it's still got character. And it has to be ridden a certain way. And what I mean by that is that because it is quite a feisty motor, it does like to be quite high up in the rev ranges for the engine to be comfortable. You know, I'm talking, it sort of wants to be above 3,000 really, for the engine to be, you know, to work as it's at its optimum really, I would say. Now also we have the Switchgear as well, which is really tactile, really nice, got a really good quality feel about the Switchgear, and most importantly, big selling point is that it's backlit as well. It looks really nice when you're riding this bike at night because it lights up lovely. You can actually see what switchgear does what, so to speak, you know. So if you're looking for the lights, it's not just backlit, but it's, you know, it's backlit and gives you that information that this is the lights, this is the indicators, and yeah, just really nicely done. Another outstanding point, there's lots of outstanding points about this bike. I'm really enjoying it. Another outstanding point is the actual way that the bike leans into the corners. It's got a lovely balanced feel about it. You know, it doesn't fall into the corners and you haven't got to give it too much lean either, or too much rider input to lean the bike over. It's just, it feels really nice. Out on the dual carriageway, motorway, etc., what is this bike like for touring. Faster roads, dual carriageways and motorways. Well, in a minute we will soon find out. Obviously it is a naked bike, so just got plenty of get up and go to it. It wants to be revved, it wants to be thrashed. It really enjoys it. Just ask for more when you do give it a bit of welly. So we've got 6-speed gearbox, and when we're in 6th gear at 73 miles per hour, we are at 5,000 revs. Feels fine. I want to knock it down a cog. Move back in. And open her up. Again, it's really happy. It sounds superb. It sounds really well. I was going a bit faster. It sounds great. It really winds up well. Apparently we got a top speed of 105 miles per hour. I was knocking triple digit speeds there. Oh, if you're a hooligan, you'll love this bike, I tell you. It's brilliant to whiz around and drive fast, or ride fast should I say. Absolutely brilliant. Really good fun. So what's it like out on these sort of roads, out exploring, popping out to the airport? It's just a really nice bike to commute around on. Get from A to B. It will give you that excitement factor if you want it, or it will just plod around quite nicely as well. So it's a very, very enjoyable bike to ride fast. You know, if you're a bit of a hooligan, then no matter what your skill level is, whether you're a beginner or if you're really experienced, then you're going to really enjoy this bike. I have had a few skitty moments on these tyres, on these Angel GTs. I know they're good tyres, but I'm not going to push it anymore today. I've had the back go out twice, and also the front end skipped on me once, and I thought, right, okay, that's enough warning shots. I'm going to take it a bit easier now. Even though it looks alright, it's still only 3 or 4 degrees, so got to respect the throttle a bit, you know. Yeah, it's very, very exciting bike go to ride fast. As I say, on the motorway we have got a 6-speed box, so that is going to help us a bit there. And it is a naked bike, as I say, but I mean, it just handled it as you would expect a naked bike would do. At 5,000 RPM, again, it feels quite nice. It doesn't feel like it's over revving or uncomfortable. It actually just feels like the bike wants to do more. It does egg you on a little bit, this bike, in a good way. Right, so traffic up ahead. We're coming home on a busy day at work from the office. As you can see, the Siemmezzo 650 is very narrow, so you're not going to get any problems getting through the narrower places and the bits and bobs. It's very light on top, so you don't really feel like you're going to it's going to become overbearing, or you're going to have any make any mistakes with the weight of the bike on top as you're filtering slowly. And you have the power as well. Fueling is better out on the open road, no doubt about it. It wants to be moving all the time, really. But it's always there. You got the visibility with the front LED as well, so people can see you ahead of time. It's a relatively nice size bike as well, so you know, again, that helps with visibility. Brakes are always there, and I have the gear selector when I do come to a red light, just to double check that I am in the right gear and ready to go when the lights go green. So let's pull in here. Scooter boy, no problem, mate. So again, you know, it's very light on top. You can flick in and out. around the traffic and get up to the front of the lights. Right, for the walk round, let's start here. We're going to start with the finishing today. The powder coating is excellent. It's really smooth finish. It's got a good depth of powder coat as well. The welding is exceptionally good as well, all the way around the frame. Brake and the clutch lever is adjustable. I'm 5'8" and I have a 30-inch inside leg measurement. I'm having no problems flat footing the bike, still with a slightly bent knee here as well, so no issues there. If I put my legs up on the pegs, again, it's very comfortable. I can move back on the seat or forward on the seat as well, so you're not locked into the bike at all. I would say that if you're 6 foot or over, then you're still going to be fine on this bike, because the leg position here has got plenty of room to move forward, and when you're riding, your legs naturally hug the tank, so no issues there. I'm slightly over the tank, I would say. I feel like I have to reach for the bars a little bit more than what's natural. Right, so let's talk a little bit about the competition for this bike. Now, the closest one is the MT-07. It feels more up to date, this bike. Obviously, we've got the TFT screen. It's not so quirky to look at. The MT-07 does have a quirky dashboard, whereas this TFT on it is really nice. It feels bang up to date. 16 litre tank. Even though it is a large tank, it doesn't really look like a large tank, but it is quite prominent on the bike at the same time. And it suits the bike as well. It gives the bike a bit of a muscly feel. Now, bearing in mind that this bike is under £7,000, I've been more than impressed with riding this bike. A lovely bike to ride, and ownership pride in a bike like this would be really good, because it just got a nice feel about it and it feels really well put together. It's the sort of bike you could mention to somebody and sort of say to a Moto Morini, and a lot of people would say, well, who are they? But if you go down the cafe and show them the bike, I guarantee it, they would be really impressed. So I'd advise you go into your nearest showroom and having a look at one, and you'll see exactly what I mean by that. It's a smooth engine, it takes off nicely. It's an engine that likes to be revved. It's an engine which doesn't like to be below 1500 RPM. It is a bike that wants to be up there in the higher ranges, and I'm talking probably about 3,500 onwards is where it's comfortable and where it wants to be. Motorway cruising, obviously it's a naked bike, but it will still do it, and it will keep up with anything. You know, it would easily go up to 100 miles an hour. Top speed is allegedly 105. I would say that you'll get there easily, and I would say, unless it's restricted, I would say it'll go quite a bit beyond that as well. It is quite a fast, feisty 650 engine. Suspension is provided by Kayaba, and it's 43mm forks on the front, which are adjustable, and adjustable on the rear as well for preload, which is also made by Kayaba. Switchgear is really nice, really tactile, and really easy to use. On the right hand bar, we have the lights down here, start button down here, kill switch and hazards. On the left hand bar, we have the menu buttons up and down, high beam, low beam, indicators left and right, and the horn at the bottom. The bikes will sell themselves. However, Moto Morini need to get these bikes out to the dealers. That is the key of the success of the brand. We have LED lights all the way around as well, including a daytime running light on the front there. The mirrors are quite small for city filtering. You do have to be a bit aware of that, obviously, and although they don't vibrate too much, you do have to look around a bit to find out where the blind spots are, so that's something you do have to be careful of. So with the tyres, we have the Angel GTs. On the front is a 120/70/18, and the rear is a 160/60/17. It's a 649cc engine that produces 54 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM and 61 horsepower at 8,250 RPM. The fuel injection is provided by Bosch once again, same as the ABS, and I have found it can get a little bit lumpy around town because it's a bike that likes to be revved and likes to go. It can be a little bit shuddery down at low revs around town. So it is a bike where you do have to
stir up the gearbox a bit to keep the engine sweet and happy. That being said, I don't want you to think that I'm saying that and it's hard work. It's not, it's fine, but it just wants to be ridden a certain way with this bike. It's got a character about it. And that's one of the things I really like about this bike, is that out of the 650 range, whether you're talking about, I don't know, the CB650, let's say, or the MT-07, I would say that this has got loads more character. It's got a bit more of a personality, you know? And also I'd even say that there's touches on this bike which I prefer, whether it's the TFT screen, the nice switchgear, the illuminated switchgear as well, which is really handy. The seat, which is really nicely stitched together, and it looks really nice. You can really tell that they've put a lot of effort into that. And there's lots of Moto Morini stamps around the bike as well, whether it's the grips or the crankcase or the case on the other side. Even down to the fuel filling cap, it's got the Moto Morini stamp there, and when you lift it up and flip it back, it's all metal construction and it sits nicely and it feels really good. And do remember that this is an A2 compliant bike as well, with the restrictor kit. So for a twin cylinder 649cc bike that's under £7,000, you get the illuminated switchgear, the TFT screen, the nice feel, oozes character, Italian character as well. I mean, I think you get so much for your money with this bike. I really hope that it works out for them and they do well with it, because it's a beautiful bike to ride. It's powerful, it's exciting if you want it to be. It's got a lot going for it. So I just want to wish them all the best, Moto Morini in the UK. And thanks to you guys for watching. Bear in mind I have made a first ride video of this as well, so please do watch that. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to Moto Morini for the loan of the bike for the last month. And I will catch you next week on the next video. Thank you.